Hello everyone, welcome back to another painting video. I am going to show you how to stipple paint one of our Christmas wreaths in this video. Hopefully it'll go pretty quickly because I've already base coated it. I used the Wedgwood Green by Delta and I just put one quick coat on just to cover it, and then we are going to stipple paint it. I used, there's different stippling brushes. You can buy these tiny ones, but to do a piece this large, it's going to take a long time. These are very stiff brushes. Almost feel like one of those kitchen scrubby brushes almost. It's pretty stiff. So like I said, this would take a long time to cover this whole entire thing. And if you're doing the round cross stitch pieces for the center, you only need to go around the outside edge because of course your cross stitch is going to cover the center of it. So you don't need to worry about that part. But I like to use these, I think they call them chippy brushes from Home Depot. They're pretty cheap and they come with a little bit of longer bristles, which I think they kind of get sparse because, you know, are kind of wild. So I took mine so that I would have a nice flat edge to stipple with. I cut the bristles down just a bit. So I took my scissors and just cut it. Okay, so that makes it a little bit easier. So we're just going to jump right into this. So what I did was I took 3 different colors of green. So I'm going to be using the avocado for the dark color, basil green for the lightest color. If you can go back in and add some Wedgwood if you want, but I didn't. I don't think I did. Well, let's give it a try on my sample ones. So I'm just going to pour out some paint on a little paper plate here. And you should probably give your paints a good shake. A lot of questions I get is where can you find the paint? If you can't find the paint at your local Hobby Lobby or craft store, the manufacturers actually have a website. Deco Art, Folk Art, they all have websites where you can buy directly from the website itself. So if you can't find the paint, you can always order it online. So let's see, I've got my Wedgwood, I've got my dark green. Now let's get out some light color. Or did I put out the light color? Yeah, that was the light color. So I'm going to put out a little bit of Wedgwood just in case we need it. And you need just a small amount of paint. You don't need a lot. So what you're going to do is you're going to dip your brush, and I kind of start with the darker color. Dip your brush into the paint, and you kind of pounce it off on your paper plate, or you can even use a paper towel because this is kind of like a dry brush type of technique. So you can dab some of the paint off onto your paper towel, and then you're going to want to start pouncing up and down on your actual painted piece. And like I said, you just want to go around the outside edge. And you can still come back into that one first. You don't have to go back into your full puddle of paint there. You can use up what you have kind of blended out on your plate there, or whatever you're using. And when you find you run out, just give it a little bit more paint. And I'm pouncing up and down pretty hard. You know, you'll find your own, how you like it. You can make it as heavy as you want or as light as you want. It's all in what your taste is. So I've already gone around all that outside edge. So now I'm going to dip into the lightest green. And you want to have a dry brush when you do this. So you're not going to want to wash your brush out. You want to leave it dry. So I'm going to go back in with the lighter color, and I'm going to go right over the top of that other green color. And just keep blending. It doesn't take a lot of precision. You just pounce it on there. And if you want to go back in with some darker color, you can. You can muddy it up as much as you want or as little as you want. So see how that looks? Now if you want, you can even go into your base color, your Wedgwood green, if you want to add in some of that. I said pounce it off on your paper towel. You can add in a little bit of that. You don't want to add too much color that it just all starts to blend together. But like I said, it's what you like. It's how you like it. There's no right or wrong. And I think I'm going to add a little bit more dark here and there. And if you want to coat this with you can clear coat it after you're all finished. I typically use a matte clear spray because I don't like too much shine on my pieces. So, okay, so that should be good. So, see how quick and easy that was? That's all there is to it. So I'm going to set this aside. I'm going to show you now for the charms. I'm not going to go into those. These are a couple of them that I have sitting here. If you want to know how to paint the charms, you can follow along with our other painting tutorials, the basic painting tutorials, and as well as the detail. And that will give you tips on how to paint these types of things, where it shows you how to shade and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, and I'll link those videos below for you. As far as the bead goes, if you want to paint the bead, I just used one coat of white. Oh, we're also going to use the white for something else. Put a little bit of white out here. Okay, and to easily paint your bead. Now, when you get done with your stippling brush, which I didn't do yet, you want to go and wash this out. You don't want to let the paint dry in there because it will stay, and you don't want that. I'm just going to stick it in my paint bucket for now. And then to paint this, the little ball, I'm going to use a smaller size brush. And I always like to wet my bristles first to get them nice and tight and nice looking. And I hold it in my fingers and go around the bottom edge like so. And then once I get that done, I will stick it on the end of a pointed object, which I am using a paintbrush, and then just paint the ball like this, which makes it really easy to hold on to. And if you have an embossing gun and you want to dry this quickly, it works great. So if you want to put several coats on, you can. I just put one coat on mine. Okay, there we go. Our bead's all done. I'm going to dry this real quick. Okay, and then you can pull your little bead off, and we'll set that aside. And I'll wash out my brush here. Okay, now I did add a little bit of white splattering. What was I trying to say here? A little bit of white splatter to here. I use a toothbrush, and very loved, worn toothbrush. Dip it in some water, and then put it in your white paint and kind of swirl it around like this. You want your paint to be watered down. And then from there, you want to get a lot of the paint out of the brush because you don't want, it's how heavy you want it. I usually typically say to try it on like my background piece of paper here, and you take your finger and just rub it across the bristles, and that will give you a nice white little splatter. I don't know if you can see it on the brown paper here, but that's nice and light. I like it light. And I'm just rubbing my finger across the bristles. Okay, there we go. We'll stick that in the bucket. And my wreath is basically done, except for I did sand it to add a little bit of distressing on the edges. So that's the way it looks. Sanding is optional, but I do take a 150 grit sandpaper. I'm going to dry this really quick. Okay, and I take a piece of sandpaper like this. I fold it up, and I'm just going to sand a little bit of the edges just to give it a little bit of distressing. And And that's it. And then once you're done with all 4 of them, because the kit comes with 4 and it has the 4 different charms, I'm going to show you how to bead it really quickly, or how to put the bead on. So I folded, the kit comes with 48 inches of string. So you cut it in 4 12-inch pieces and then fold each piece in half like so. You're going to put it through the top of your wreath and then like this, and then pull the string through. So it looks like that. Okay, and then we're going to put the bead on. And then I'm going to tie a knot to hold the bead in place. So I'm just going to tie a knot in the string here. And I'm going to cinch it up so that it's really close to the bead. So that'll hold it in place, like so. Okay, and then tie a knot in the top of your string. And this way you can hang it on your tree or wherever you'd like to hang it. I'm going to trim these top little, make these nice and even. Okay, and that is all there is to it. Super quick and easy project. Like I said, you can coat it with some clear matte spray if you want to protect your finished piece, and that's all there is to it. If you have any questions, you can put them in the comment box below, and thank you for watching. Bye-bye.